Hi friends, welcome. This is Unstuck for the spine. Yeah, kind of really celebrating the movements of the spine, whether or not you're feeling stuck in any part. This practice specifically can be done in a chair or seated on the floor. Yeah, because I know it takes some hip flexibility, mobility to be seated on the floor for this practice, and that's not our focus in this moment. So if you'd like to sit in a chair, I will give cues for that as well for this whole practice. Yeah? Either way, whether you're sitting on the floor or in a chair, I want you to feel supported. Yeah, so take a moment, bring a blanket up under your hips, or I like to sit on like a small little block, or you could use a pillow there too, so that you feel supported, pretty easeful. Yeah? And take a moment to close your eyes or drop them low. Sort of tune inward toward what feels like this central line of energy, which tends to line up with the spine. But just feel this sort of central channel at the center of your being. Feel your breath move along it. Perhaps giving you some length, some space with each inhale. And this sense of center, of steadiness with each exhale. And as you tune in, feel yourself in alignment. Yeah, what would it mean for you to sort of stack your rib cage right over your hips? For the back of your neck, the back of your skull to be an extension of your spine. And just be with that awareness for a breath or two. Then when you inhale, allow your chest to move forward like a cow spine would be on the floor. And then when you exhale, draw your rib cage backward, even sort of contract your belly to round your spine. And find that inhale opening up forward. Exhale, round, open up along the back line. And then option to add your arms here, letting them be wide. And then as you round, reach your arms forward, really just getting some shoulder action along with all this spinal goodness. Because they tend to be related. Just find one more like that, forward and back. And then bring your hands onto your rib cage. And just again, imagine what it is to really align, to feel yourself draw towards center. Draw your ribs right over your hips, your head right over your shoulders, right over your ribs. And keep that awareness of center as you, again, draw your chest forward, your rib cage forward. But then draw your rib cage over to the right. Everything else stays the same. Draw your rib cage back, rounding your spine. And draw your rib cage over to the left. And then forward again. We'll switch directions over to the left and back and to the right. Once more each direction. So keeping your hips as steady as you can. Inhale forward to the right and back. Inhale to the left and forward. Switch directions. Exhale to the left and back. Inhale to the right and forward. And then release your hands. Come back to that awareness of center. And extend your legs out. And this is like a nice small piece of pie. Yeah, it's not a big wide-legged stretch. And if you are in the chair, obviously your knees will be bent and you just want to separate your feet a little bit wider than your hips. Yeah. But again, let yourself be supported. Feel your ribs draw back over your hips, your chin tucked down just slightly, the back of your head lifts. Reach both arms tall. And then swim your right arm back, your right ribs draw back to twist your left arm forward. Scoop your right arm down and forward, and then both arms to the sky. And swim your left arm back, your left ribs move back. Scoop your left arm down and forward. We'll make that big circle one more time. Reach up, right arm back, and down and forward. Reach tall. Left arm back and down and forward. Inhale, reach tall. And then bring your hands down toward the earth or toward your chair. Yeah. Just the left arm lifts now. And then lift yourself up and over to the right. So you'll feel your left ribs draw back and up. Stay in this side bend, but feel yourself lengthen, like the space between your left hip and your left armpit gets longer. Keep this length, but begin to rotate your heart toward your left leg. And then as you sit up, pull your right hip back so that now you're facing, your belly button is facing your right leg. Reach your left arm tall again just to make space, and then fold forward over your right leg. Any amount, doesn't have to be a lot. Feel free to curl your spine here and round, because that's what we're working on here. It's not about flexibility in your legs or your hips. Take a breath between your shoulders. Clear that space. Inhale, recover to the center, reach your arms tall. You'll kind of reset your hips. Exhale your left hand down to the left, to the floor or the chair, the edge of the chair maybe. Lift up and over to the left. Support yourself with your left arm. Press into your right hip, your right butt cheek to reach longer through your right side. Still rolling your right ribs back into support. Keep all this length, but rotate your heart sort of down toward the floor. And then as you sit up, pull your left hip back so that now your belly button's facing your left leg, left foot. Lift your right arm tall for space and then fold forward. And again, feel free to round in your spine. That's all we're going for, the sort of twisting rounding. Take a full body breath in. Breath out. Inhale, reach tall. We're going to do that one more time on each side. So right hand down. Give yourself that extra breath to reach longer. Your left hip roots, your left fingers reach. Keep all the length, but rotate your ribs, your heart toward the floor. Sit up and pull your right hip back to face your right leg. Left arm to the sky. And then reach forward, round your spine as much as you like. Drop your head, tuck your chin. Full body breath in. Breath out. Reaching tall. Left hand down. Reach up and over to the left. Remember to keep this left shoulder drawing back away from your ear. And your head extending long. Keep the length as you turn your heart toward the floor. As you sit up, pull your left hip back, sit tall. Reach your right arm tall. And then pour forward, curling in as much as you like. Full breath between your shoulders, all the way along the back of your spine, the sides of your spine. Clear out that breath. And then rise to seated again. Reach tall. Bring your hands back down, maybe through heart center. Find that awareness of center. Press your hands into each other. Feel yourself sit tall and open. And then as you're ready, using your hands if you need to, recross your legs. Yeah, or if you're sitting in the chair, just bring your thighs back close together. Once again. Reestablish this easeful seat where you feel supported and tall and aligned, your ribs over your hips. Yeah, and that also means that you don't feel a lot of pressure in your lower back, and you also don't feel a lot of rounding in your lower back, right? We're looking for sort of a neutral place in between. Yeah. Where you are, once you find that sort of equilibrium, going to reach your arms tall and bend your elbows and hold on to opposite elbows. Yeah, doesn't matter in this moment which one's on top. But again, you feel yourself aligning, because a lot of times we sort of splay the rib cage open when we do that. So draw yourself back in. Feel yourself press down through your sitting bones, lift up through the back of your waist, and then again, lift up and over to the right. Only as far as you can balance, roll your left ribs back. And then begin to turn your heart toward your right leg. And then round your spine and hang in a fold. And if your hands need to come down here, please let them do that. Rise back up. Rediscover your elbows, and then do switch the cross. Yeah, so whichever way you were. Cross the other elbow on top. Really press your elbows up toward the ceiling, so get super long. Yeah. And then again, up and over to the left this time. So still really long along your right side. And then rotate your heart toward your left leg. Round your spine and hang forward over your legs. And again, feel free to release your hands to your thighs or to the floor if you need to. Rise back up. One more time, switch elbows, or switch which one is on top, just to find that lengthening once more. So really sit down through your seat, back, draw your ribs, your front ribs in. Lift the back of your waist and lift your elbows up into the ceiling. Press them up into the ceiling. Find a breath in. Now try to keep all this length as you exhale and bring your hands down to the earth or right to the chair. Press down into it and lift your sternum, drawing your shoulders back. You could even draw your chin down and back and open up your throat. And release that as you exhale. Interlace your hands and press your palms forward. Pull your heart back. So I'm going to turn this way for you can see. Pull your heart back, round your spine. Be there for an exhale. Release that, sit tall, bring your hands to the floor or the sides of the chair, lift your sternum up. You could even lift your hips off of your seat. Bring it back down. Interlace your hands, press your palms forward, pull your belly, your rib cage back, tuck your chin. One more time, release your hands along your hips, lift your sternum, pull your shoulders back, maybe even lift your hips a little. Bring it back down. From here, root your hips, reach tall. Feel yourself again align with that central channel. Touch your palms overhead and then pull your hands down through heart center. Stay here a moment or two. And two different variations of this mudra that we're in. You could really flatten your palms and your hands against each other. Press them in toward each other, making space across your rib cage. Spaciousness, but strength is here, right? A drawing in. Or you might soften a bit and keep your fingers and thumbs touching, but make a little space, a little teardrop space between your palms, in front of your heart, this space of potentiality. So whichever mudra feels more right for you in this moment. being here, connected to that central channel. Wide open and awake these last few breaths. You can release your hands to your lap or bow forward, touching your hands to the earth, honoring all that came before, all that holds you. Or choose to remain sitting tall. Maybe you sit for a while, ready for meditation. Or maybe you're feeling ready to move on with the day, but hopefully you feel a little more mobile in your spine. Hope to see you next time. In the meantime, be well, be good to each other.